Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Former Steelers QB makes final free agency decision, report. Former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Mitch Trubisky is returning to a familiar setting for the 2024 season. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reported on March 6 that Trubisky has agreed to a contract to return to the Buffalo Bills. Trubisky served as Buffalo's backup signal caller during the 2021 season. The Bills have agreed to terms with QB Mitch Trubisky to return to Buffalo, sources say, Garafolo wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Tim Graham reported they were in talks. Now a done deal. The Steelers cut Trubisky early to give him a shot to find his next gig before free agency begins. He's done just that. Trubisky spent the past 2 seasons with the Steelers. He opened the 2022 season as the team's starting quarterback, but rookie Kenny Pickett replaced him during halftime of Week 4. Ironically, Pickett's first start came against the Bills the following week. After that, Trubisky made 5 relief appearances and 3 other starts for the Steelers over the next 27 games during 2022-23. His performances were wildly inconsistent. Trubisky started in weeks 14 and 15 of the 2023 season for an injured Pickett. But trailing by more than 2 touchdowns in Week 15, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin benched Trubisky in favor of Mason Rudolph. Rudolph then led the Steelers on a 3-game winning streak to end the season. The Steelers released Trubisky on February 12. Trubisky finished his Pittsburgh tenure with a 2-5 record as a starter. He also posted a 64.1% completion percentage while averaging 6.6 yards per pass with 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in 12 games. The only season in Trubisky's 7-year career where he didn't make a start was the lone campaign he spent with the Bills. In 2021, Trubisky attempted just 8 passes in 6 appearances as Josh Allen's backup. But despite the lack of playing time, he appeared to fit well in Buffalo. On March 6, NFL.com's Grant Gordon argued that Trubisky earned his second chance as a starter with the Steelers after showing promise in Buffalo even with few regular season snaps. With Trubisky's return to Buffalo, the Bills will have a very experienced quarterback as Allen's backup again. This past season, Kyle Allen served as Buffalo's backup, but he is an unrestricted free agent this spring. In 2022, Case Keenum was Allen's backup. Trubisky, though, may experience a season where he mostly holds a clipboard in 2024. Allen has missed just 1 start since the beginning of the 2019 season. It will be interesting to see if Trubisky sitting behind Allen again leads to another starting opportunity for Trubisky in the future. It's unlikely, though, with Trubisky now having lost his starting job with 2 different organizations. He began his career as the number 2 overall pick to the Chicago Bears in the 2017 NFL Draft. After posting a 4-8 record as a starter his rookie season, Trubisky recorded winning records in each of the next 3 years. During 2018, he led the Bears to an 11-3 record and earned a Pro Bowl nomination with 24 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. But during Week 3 of 2020, the Bears benched Trubisky while trailing the Atlanta Falcons by 16 points. Nick Foles replaced Trubisky and led Chicago to a comeback victory. Trubisky returned after Foles suffered an injury to start the final 6 games of the regular season and took the Bears to the playoffs. But Chicago did not retain Trubisky following the season. After losing his starting job with the Steelers, Trubisky orchestrated a touchdown drive in relief of an injured Pickett against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 6 and won a start versus the Carolina Panthers during Week 15 of 2022. However, Trubisky proved to be a poor backup quarterback during 2023. The Steelers lost all 5 contests where Trubisky played last season. His last pass with Pittsburgh was a badly overthrown interception. Report, QB Mitch Trubisky heading back to Bills. The Bills have agreed to a deal to bring quarterback Mitch Trubisky back to Buffalo, according to multiple reports Wednesday. The former number 2 overall pick mutually agreed to part ways with the Pittsburgh Steelers on February 12, with 2 years left on a 3-year, $19.4 million contract. Now he's reportedly heading to Buffalo to reprise the role of Josh Allen's backup. Trubisky, 29, spent the 2021 season in Buffalo seeing limited action in support of Allen, going 6 of 8 for 43 yards and rushing for 24 yards and a touchdown over 6 games, no starts. Trubisky joined the Steelers as a free agent in 2022, the same year Pittsburgh selected quarterback Kenny Pickett in the first round of the draft. Trubisky began that season as the starting quarterback but soon gave way to Pickett. While Pickett dealt with injury and regression in 2023, Trubisky made 2 starts before the Steelers eventually turned to Mason Rudolph, who helped guide the team to a wild-card berth. In 12 games, 7 starts, for Pittsburgh, Trubisky completed 64.1% of his passes for 1,884 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. He added 4 rushing touchdowns. Since entering the league with the Chicago Bears in 2017, Trubisky has amassed 12,536 passing yards, 72 touchdowns, and 48 picks across 69 games, 57 starts, with the Bears, 2017-20, Bills, 2021, and Steelers. He is 31-26 all-time as a starter. Steelers floated as potential suitor for projected $45 million CB. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a few different needs they could begin addressing during NFL free agency. But during his weekly fan chat on March 6, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac predicted the Steelers to focus on cornerbacks. When asked about specific potential free agent targets, Dulac mentioned veteran cornerback Adoree Jackson. Free agency could produce a CB because 3 that the Steelers have, Wallace, Sullivan, Pierre, are all UFAs, wrote Dulac. And I think mid-range players such as Adoree Jackson are that type, guys who can come in and start while the Steelers find out if Corey Trice can help them. Jackson started 14 games for the New York Giants last season. He posted 63 combined tackles with 8 pass defenses and 1 interception. Jackson returned that pick for a 76-yard touchdown. Spotrac projected Jackson to be worth $45.4 million on a 4-year contract this offseason. In addition to Jackson, Dulac mentioned Kendall Fuller as a potential mid-range free agent cornerback target for the Steelers. Jackson began his career with the Tennessee Titans as a first-round pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. He started immediately, posting 17 pass defenses as a rookie. Jackson reached double digits in pass defenses again during his second season. The Titans picked up his 5th-year option prior to the 2020 season. However, Jackson suffered a season-ending knee injury in Week 3. Then the following spring, the Titans released Jackson. In free agency, Jackson signed a 3-year, $39 million contract with the Giants. He reached 50 combined tackles and 8 pass defenses in all 3 seasons with New York. Over 7 NFL seasons, Jackson has posted 56 pass defenses and 4 interceptions. He's also recorded 376 combined tackles, including 9 tackles for loss. He has started 77 games in his career. With the Steelers, Jackson could start opposite 2023 second-round pick Joey Porter Jr. As Dulac mentioned, fellow 2023 draft pick Corey Trice is a candidate for a bigger role in Pittsburgh during 2024. But Trice is returning from a torn ACL he suffered during 2023 training camp. Veteran cornerbacks Levi Wallace, Shandon Sullivan, and James Pierre are unrestricted free agents for the Steelers this offseason. But fellow veteran Patrick Peterson is under contract. While Peterson led the Steelers in defensive snaps during 2023, it wouldn't be surprising if the team replaces him in the starting lineup. Peterson, who turns 34 in July, could play more nickel cornerback and safety in 2024. Interestingly, Pro Football Focus has a much lower projection for Jackson's market this offseason. PFF, who ranked Jackson the 8th best cornerback set to be available in free agency, predicted Jackson to sign a one-year, $6 million deal. Unsurprisingly, a lot of questions Duloc received in his fan chat on March 6 were regarding free agency. One reader asked Duloc who he thought the Steelers would sign in free agency. Interestingly, rather than continue to float names, the Steelers insider suggested it could depend on if the team can re-sign quarterback Mason Rudolph. "Some of that will depend on what Mason Rudolph does," wrote Duloc. Another reader projected Rudolph's salary as $10 million over 2 seasons. Duloc responded by writing, "That's about the price range the Steelers will offer, no more." Given that that's a very affordable contract for an NFL quarterback, it's a bit surprising that Duloc predicted Rudolph to have a big influence on what the Steelers do in free agency. But whether Rudolph returns will greatly impact what the team's quarterback room looks like. If the Steelers can't convince Rudolph to return, they will need to find depth behind center elsewhere, and perhaps that will be more expensive. Spotrac reported on March 6 that the Steelers have $9.57 million in cap space. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Adoree Jackson? Leave your opinion in the comments.